Over the past decade, Ethiopian agriculture has gone through a period of rapid growth. For example, the agricultural sector has grown by approximately double digits in the last 8 years. Only last year did the growth level drop to about 5%. Despite this rapid growth, the structural issues that constrain the agricultural sector have not been addressed holistically. ATA was created to work with partners, particularly the Ministry of Agriculture and the regional bureaus of agriculture, to address these structural issues to ensure that the gains that have been made over the past decade are sustained, expanded upon, and will lead to middle-income country status by 2025. The primary role of the organization is to really step back away from the day-to-day activities of the agricultural sector and think about what are the profound big changes that need to occur across the entire system, from seeds, soils, farmer organizations, research, extension, and even in key crops. Really think about what kinds of things could happen in 3 to 5 years to make profound and transformational changes. The relationship between IFPRI and this organization, the ATA, is one that actually predates the creation of the ATA itself. IFPRI was a primary partner in the diagnostic study that was initially done at the request of Prime Minister Meles to the Gates Foundation. At that time, the Gates Foundation identified IFPRI as an important organization that could help do the diagnostic in key parts of the agricultural sector. These diagnostics, which included one of the seed sector, one of extension, soil, irrigation, among others, led to the creation of the ATA. Since that time, the partnership with IFPRI has actually expanded and become deeper and richer to support the work of ATA when it comes to specific research areas where we felt were critical to understand more deeply and that ATA did not have the capacity to undertake as a new organization. As such, the partnership with IFPRI allows us to identify these critical areas of research that we would work with IFPRI researchers who have expertise in these areas, and allows them to really look at them deeply and inform the recommendations that we make to government. For example, Ethiopia's procurement of inorganic fertilizers from outside the country has been one that's been growing over the last 3 to 5 years. Now, the work that IFPRI has done has allowed us to look at exactly the level of purchases over the past few years and provide recommendations that has allowed the Ethiopian government to adjust its fertilizer purchases to more accurately reflect the demand from farmers in different parts of the country. This kind of research that IFPRI has done has not only refined the policies of the government of Ethiopia, but has saved the government significant amounts of hard currency that it had been using to purchase inorganic fertilizers, which might not be necessary in the near term. Our role as a problem-solving organization is only one part of the solution we provide to Ethiopia's agricultural system. This problem-solving function, which is undertaken with many partners, including organizations such as IFPRI, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ethiopian Institute for Agricultural Research, other development partners, NGOs, even the private sector, allows us to identify these systemic bottlenecks. However, the second part of our mandate is to work with partners in supporting them to implement these recommendations to address systemic bottlenecks. So these twin pillars, one of identifying solutions to systemic bottlenecks, and second is supporting our partners to implement these recommendations, allow us to be somewhat of a unique organization. Not a think tank, not a research organization, but at the same time not an implementing organization, but a hybrid between the two. ATA works at 2 different levels. First is at a systemic level, and the second is in a geographic level. The project that we're doing in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, as well as with Columbia University and with AFSIS, the African Soil Information Service. This project is a one-of-a-kind project in the world that is seeking to map, using satellite technology and remote sensing, map the soil fertility and the soil information of the entire country, using confluence points that are at 1 degree in latitude and longitude throughout the country, but also doing ground truthing and soil fertility mapping in key parts of the country. At the end of this, we will have a digital soil map of the entire country, as well as very detailed soil fertility maps of the most high potential areas of the country. In addition to these, there's work that we're doing at a geographic level, looking at the key crops that Ethiopia's farmers are growing for food security. And these include teff, wheat, and maize. And in each of these, we've identified with our partners at the Ministry of Agriculture and the regional bureaus of agriculture specific clusters of waredas or districts where these crops are prominent. And we are working with extension workers, where Ethiopia has the largest extension system, public extension system in the world. We're working with extension workers to ensure that we provide farmers with the most appropriate agronomic practices, at the same time providing farmers with seeds and fertilizers on time, as well as mechanization and markets. Like most of Africa, Ethiopia's agricultural system is dominated by smallholder farmers. When you step back and look at the contribution first of agriculture to the national economy, agriculture accounts for over 42% of the economy here in Ethiopia when you look at it as a percentage of GDP. And within the agricultural sector, smallholder farmers account for over 90% of the agricultural production. So in that way, smallholder farmers are critical not only to the agricultural sector, but to the entire Ethiopian economy. So ATA's work is focused exclusively on identifying the bottlenecks constraining the development of smallholder farmers in Ethiopia, and as a result, contributing to the overall economic growth of the country. This is a unique type of organization that is meant to be a catalyst. It's not meant to be a bureaucracy that lasts forever. Rather, it's meant to serve its purpose for a short period of time, and then after that period of time, it will cease to exist.